Alright, so for this tutorial, what I'm going to do is simply animate the objects. I'm just going to animate one object because depending on what your motion graphic is, it could be a whole slew of things. So I am just going to do the basic stuff here and kind of go from there. Alright. Um, So I'm only going to animate one object, and that will be it. So I'm just going to turn off, we can leave that one on. I'm going to turn off all the stuff except for the E here. And I'm looking at my thing here, and this looks really small. So I'm actually going to select my camera. I'm going to click and drag across all this, right click, and go unlock selected. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit because this should like fill the space. So we're going to go like that. Then I'm going to right click back on it and go lock selected. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to go to we'll hit spacebar, go here, and I'm going to hit W, and I'm going to put this on the ground like that. Okay. So I just got the one on for right now. What I'm going to do is we're going to hit the little animation settings here, and I make sure that it says real time 24 frames per second. Okay. Yours might say real time 30 frames per second. If that is the case, just go to the settings here and just change it to film 24 frames per second. That's just what I like to use. You can do 30, but it's up to you. All right. So we're going to do more of a straight ahead kind of way, straight ahead / layering style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this off screen, right? So I got to make sure the shadow's off screen too. And I'm going to hit S, okay? So I'm at frame 1, and I hit S, and that will key all the attributes on it. Then what I'm going to do is I have to think about how long do I want this to take in to come, or how long do I want it to take to come in. So I usually just go by seconds or half seconds, okay? So beats, sometimes they call them. So I could go, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm thinking this will probably take, let's say, a second and a half, right? So that'd be 24 plus the 12, so we'll say 36. So I'm going to go to 36, and I'm just going to take it, I'm going to drag it in to, we'll say, here, all right? And then I'm going to hit S to key. So now, if I hit play, looks pretty okay. Now, a couple of things I want to do with this is, for one, if I look at my graph here, when you see I'm selecting the red, it's the translate X that's being animated. So you can see the little red curve here. So I'm going to select translate X. Okay, so each one of these curves represent the different attributes. You see all the rest of them are flat because none of them are being affected. The values have not changed over time, but the translate X has. So if you look, and I'm going to hit F to frame, okay, in here, just like you would frame on anything else, and you can see it eases into it. It starts out flat, which means no motion. Then it gets more and more and more vertical. I mean, not vertical, but angled. The more it gets angled, the faster the motion, and then it goes flat again, which means it's going to start out slow, move faster, and then end slow, which is good. That's what I want. But I don't need it to start out slow because you don't even see that. So I'm actually going to take this one and I'm going to make it straight, a linear. And now it'll come in at full speed and then just slow down, which will make the ease in a little bit stronger. Okay. And for the most part, that's fine. I think that timing looks okay. If I did need to change it, I can just hover over the key here, hold shift, click, and then grab these arrows and shift it around, but I'm happy where that is. Now the other thing I want to do is animate my wiggle here, okay? So I got this little bend attribute, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start at 1, and I'm going to hit S to key that. And then, so he comes in at what? 36. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it that when it's coming in, it's like dragging. So I'm going to say if at 36, we'll go, we'll say 6 frames before that. So I'm going to go to 30, and I'm with the bend attribute clicked on. I'm going to click and drag to the left. Okay. All right. So it's like being dragged. So now it's going to, it'll only preview the one that has the gray around it. So you see how like this, there's this light gray line. So I'll just, oh, there's nothing on there. Okay. All right. And what I want to do is I want to come in and wobble into place. So I'm going to go wonk. Then it comes to 36, and then I'm going to go 4 to 40, so I'm going to go 6 after. Select this bend attribute. I'm going to bend this way. I'm going to hit S. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go less. So we'll go, let's try 4. Grab the bend attribute. Go this way a little bit less than where it was, S. Then a little bit, I'm going to go 4 after that. Then go a little bit forward, S. And we're going to go 2. And I'm going to go a little bit this way, S. And then I'm just going to 0 this out. Okay. So now, if I hit play, and you get this little kind of yoink. Okay. Because basically what I did is I keyed that bend to go this way, then that way, then this way, then that way. All right. And that is relatively simple. Okay. So that's just a basic bend animation rig. But mind you, a couple things, obviously, like, you know, when you select each thing, it only shows the key of what you have selected. So when I have this translate selected, it's showing me that key. And if I have the bend deformer controller selected, it shows me those keys down here. Okay. But just play around with it. Try to do the best you can. If you need to get rid of keys, you select one, hold shift, click, right? Or actually, you don't even have to do that. You can just go over top of it, right click, and go delete, and that will remove it. Okay. You can also copy and paste keys. So there's all of that. But that's the basics of that. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that for this. There are other, I could go through the rest, but it's just, honestly, I'm not going to go through it. It'll take forever. And I don't want to make like a, 2-hour video session on doing this, but you get the basic idea. So try to employ the animation principles, the animation canon, and try to get this to, look good. And so just like for this, I would just slide in each little piece. All right.